What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Huge thank you to will.venhuizen over at Koons, Tysons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Wrangler Rubicon or any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product, I'll be sure to have Will's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Literally just like 10 to 15 minutes ago, we had beautiful blue sunny skies, and now it looks like it's gonna rain. However, I checked the Weather Channel app and it says that it's not gonna rain, but I can literally hear the rain dropping out of the sky right now, and the sky definitely tells me different. But we're gonna try to get this video knocked out as soon as possible so I don't get wet. So just like I always do, first, let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and this particular one has been painted in bright white clear coat. One of the first things I wanted to say in this video is that for 2024, you now get a redesigned front grille that is slightly smaller than the previous grille, and you also get some new colors, some new wheels, and a larger infotainment screen on the interior. But let's start over here at the top of the hood. So with the Rubicon, you get these two satin black non-functional hood vents. So these are all show and no go. And then on both sides of your front hood, you get the Rubicon badging with the red accenting. So that is a closer look at that. But working our way to the center of the front end, like I just mentioned, new for 2024, you now get this smaller satin black grille with these gray slots. You also get a body color grille surround, and then you could get the optional $2,295 technology group, which would give you a forward facing camera with a camera washer, if that is an option that you were looking into getting potentially. And then also working our way into the headlights, you get LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights as standard with the Rubicon. If you wanted automatic high beams, you would have to opt for the optional $1,295 safety group, which again would give you automatic high beams as well as rear parking sensors and blind spot monitoring. But working our way down just a tad bit, let's talk about our front bumper. So you get a satin black plastic front bumper with two integrated red tow hooks. So the theme of the Rubicon is red accenting, and you will see that as we progress along in this video. If this satin black plastic bumper is not enough for you, you could get the optional $3,495 steel bumper and winch group, which is basically going to tell you exactly what you get. You get steel front and rear bumpers as well as the worn winch. But with that said, you also do get skid plates as standard, and those skid plates help to protect your fuel tank, your transfer case, and your transmission. And then last but not least, up here you get 10.8 inches of ground clearance with the Rubicon. But working our way down the side, you get these satin black highline fender flares. Here's a closer look at what those look like. Coming down just a bit, you get a Dana 44 locking front axle, and then if you wanted this option, you could get the optional $3,995 Extreme 35-inch tire package, which gives you 35-inch tires, performance brakes, a different rear axle ratio, and everything that you see on screen right now. However, this particular vehicle has not been optioned with that, so you get these standard 17-inch machine face with black pocket wheels wrapped in 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires real quick. If you're watching this Jeep Wrangler video, I'm sure you are familiar with the KO2 tires. But working our way down the side, you get another non-functional fender vent here, as well as you get this gray and red badging with your trail rated badging, your Jeep badging, and then you have just that black sticker down there that says Wrangler with the United States flag. That's a closer look at that. And then working our way into our side view mirrors, you get satin black side view mirrors. These side view mirrors are heated, power adjustable, and they are also manual folding. Again, if you wanted blind spot monitoring, you would have to opt for the $1,295 safety group. Again, this one is not optioned with that option. But now let's do a little side profile shot of the Wrangler Rubicon, and you may notice right off the bat that this one has the standard black soft top. Now, this is one option that I'm gonna recommend. I know it's a pricey option, but I did a video with a Rubicon Wrangler 2024 392. That was totally out of order. I meant 2024 Wrangler 392, and that one had the Sky One Touch roof, and I fell in love with it because it was awesome. So that is a $3,795 option, but it is so worth it because you don't have to worry about taking the top off. You literally press a button and it's like a sunroof that goes literally all the way back. It is awesome and makes things very easy. But working our way into our windows, you get satin black window trim as well as satin black door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind the keyless access function is only on your front two doors and on your tailgate, and then all the way at the bottom of your sides you also get these rock rails. So instead of high centering yourself, you know, on your actual rocker panel, which would be very expensive to fix, with the Rubicon you get these rock rails again as standard. So instead of, you know, messing up your rocker, you're messing this piece up, which you can replace that piece pretty easily, which is always nice. So that saves you from a very pricey fix. So that is one of the reasons you might want to look into getting a Rubicon if you're going to be doing any sort of off-roading. But you also get a satin black fuel door right here, as well as LED taillights back here. You also get a full-size spare tire with your backup camera integrated into the center cap of that. That is where your backup camera is right there. Like I mentioned just a bit ago, this rear door also has the keyless access function. All you got to do is make sure you have your key fob in your pocket, put your hand behind that door handle, and the vehicle will open up. And then taking a look at what we got going on here in the trunk space, this is one of the only options that this vehicle has, and these are the $170 all-weather floor mats. Now taking a look at what else we got in here, you get a 12-volt power outlet on the driver's side of the trunk, and then underneath here you got a great spot. You could set jumper cables, water bottles, stuff like that. And then you also have the spot you can set your roof bolts, your windshield bolts. Your jack is underneath there. Your door hinges, if you wanted to access your jack, you would just go like this, and then that is where you'll find your jack. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on back here. However, I would say you could probably stack maybe 6 to 8 carry-on suitcases back here if you went like 1, 2, 3. So if that makes sense. But yeah, kind of about it for what we got going on, at least in that trunk area. That is a little plaque right there. It lets you know all the dimensions. It's kind of cool. Water fording capabilities and stuff like that. But working our way down, you do also get a satin black plastic bumper back here as well with those 2 reflectors. You also get that 1 tow hook back here in red. And then if you wanted parking sensors for the rear, you would have to opt for the safety group. That would give you 4 parking sensors back here. You also get a trailer hitch back here as standard with the Rubicon, and that includes a 4 and 7-pin connector. That's your 7-pin connector. That is your 4-pin connector. And then there were a couple other things I wanted to go over while we were back here. So new for 2024, you now get the Dana M220 full floating rear axle, which makes this a little bit even more capable for off-roading. And obviously that is also a locking rear axle. You also get a 410 rear axle ratio as standard with the Rubicon. However, if you opted for the extreme 35-inch tire package, that gives you a different rear axle ratio. And obviously also as standard with the Rubicon, you get the Rubicon Performance suspension. I thought I might throw this in there. You get a 21.5 gallon fuel tank capacity, and then also the max tow capacity is bumped up now for 2024 to 5,000 pounds. So now you get a best-in-class 5,000 pound max tow capacity with the Wrangler Rubicon. One thing that's kind of interesting though is that this has a higher max tow capacity than the Rubicon 392. Just a fun fact. Thought you might find that interesting. Let me know in the comments down below if you did in fact find that interesting or not. But with that stuff said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.6 liter V6 that makes 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. This particular Rubicon has been optioned with the $4,500 8-speed automatic transmission. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 16 miles per gallon in the city, 19 miles per gallon on the highway for 17 miles per gallon combined. Obviously with 4-wheel drive, this is a Jeep after all. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I work very hard on making these videos and I spend a lot of time making these videos. So, you know, it might look like it's a lot of fun making these videos, and it definitely is a lot of fun, but it still does take a lot of time and effort to make. So if you've enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. But with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. All right, moving on into the interior. Like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, you do get keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing on that button right there, and now the vehicle is locked. I wanted to show you of the couple of the functions on the key fob. So you have your unlock function, your lock function. This particular vehicle has been optioned with the $995 convenience group, which gives you remote start. So to remote start the vehicle, all you got to do is press this button twice, and that is what it sounds like when it fires up. But moving on into the interior, this is a Wrangler after all, so with that in mind, you do get the removable doors. So with the removable doors, you can see that the doors are rather basic. There's a Jeep over there with the top off. Look pretty sweet, good day to do that. But this is what the door panel looks like. Again, very, very basic, because you can take these doors off, and they want to make the doors as light as possible, so it makes it easy to take them on and off. So you do get a satin chrome looking door handle. You get your power side view mirror controls here, your unlock and your lock functions, a nicely padded armrest, and a little bit of mesh storage space at the bottom of your door panel. And that kind of about does it for the door panel. Now, taking a look at the driver seat, you can see you get the red Rubicon stitched into the seat back. You also get some red accent colored stitching on the seat. The seat itself is cloth, and it is also manually adjustable. So that has a look at that. Now let's step into the interior and let's see what the Rubicon has to offer. So right off the bat, some of you may notice what is brand new for the 2024 model year. So now for 2024, you get a 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. That is what that looks like. And then also for 2024, you no longer have that antenna that was normally over there. You now get a window antenna. So now it's integrated into the window rather than, you know, that stick that you had on the 2023 and below model years. But I'm going to close that door. I'm going to roll a couple windows down, get a nice cross flow going, because the HVAC system messes with the audio in the video. So let's start over here. Here are your headlight controls. All the way to the left is off. That is parking lights on. That is headlights in the always on position. And then all the way to the right is headlights in the automatic position. Pressing on this button right here is going to turn your fog lights on or off. Coming down here, flip that down, you get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. What I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards you, the steering wheel will go away from you, and then you can also move the steering wheel up and down to your liking. But one more thing over here is that this little scroll knob here is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. Now let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is that your turn signal control stock, obviously that is also your high beam control stock. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel itself, this doesn't feel like a leather wrapped steering wheel, but it does at the same time. I would say that this is not an actual leather wrapped steering wheel, but it feels like it. And then on the inside of the steering wheel, you get some red accent colored stitching. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center of your steering wheel. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the 2024 Wrangler. Now, coming over to here, you have these different arrows and this OK button. That is to control your 7-inch productivity screen located at the center of your dash. And then that button is to pick up on a phone call. That is to speak to the vehicle. And then that is to hang up on a phone call. Working our way over to here, like I just mentioned when we were talking about the performance stuff, this particular vehicle has been optioned with the $4,500 8-speed automatic. And what's included with that 8-speed automatic, which is kind of interesting, is adaptive cruise control with stop. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. And then mounted on the right-hand side of your steering column is where you will find your windshield wiper control stock. But now, moving into our gauge cluster, on the left-hand side, you have your tachometer as well as your transfer case status stuff. And then on the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your analog speedometer. But working our way into the center screen, again, this is a 7-inch center screen. And up top there, you have your compass. That's the ambient exterior temperature. That's your fuel gauge, and then that is your coolant temperature gauge. Right now I have the vehicle info screen displayed. I usually like to start at the top, which is our digital speedometer readout. So this is like the screen that I would leave my personal Wrangler in. I don't have a Wrangler, but if this was my Wrangler, this is the screen that I would have it in. So now this is your digital speedometer readout, your transmission status stuff, and your odometer. Now clicking down once will bring you into your vehicle information screen. So you can see now you have your tire pressure stuff, your coolant temperature stuff, your transmission temperature, your oil pressure, your oil life, and your battery voltage. Now clicking down one more will bring you into your off-road screen. So you can see your drivetrain stuff, and then you can see your pitch and roll stuff. Now clicking down one more time. Now this is your adaptive cruise control or your driver assistance screen. Right now adaptive cruise is off. If I turn it on, that is what the screen looks like. Now clicking down one more time, this is your fuel economy stuff, and then clicking over one more time, that's some more fuel economy stuff with your fuel range. Clicking down one more time, that's your trip A information. Clicking to the right, that's your trip B information. And then this is your stop start stuff. Click down one more time, your audio stuff. Then you get your stored messages. Right now we have no stored messages. And then this is your screen setup, so you can set up what's up top there. You can set up what is over there. You can go into the defaults, which I think is what is on screen right now. You can also see the current gear, your odometer, and all these different things. But yeah, that's kind of about it for that. If you want to exit out of that, you click this to the left and then click down one more time. And that brings us back into the digital speedometer readout screen, which is the screen that, again, I would leave my vehicle on. But taking a look at the top of the dash, very small or shallow dash, but you could see, you could set some stuff up top here like a GoPro or something like that, but you get a speaker there. You get another speaker over there. You get a speaker on, or a grab handle on the A-pillar. You also get a grab handle over there on the A-pillar for your front passenger. Coming down a little bit, again, this is new for the 2024 model year, and this is your 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. As you can see, the wireless Apple CarPlay is displaying on screen right now. If you wanted to go into the Uconnect system, you click this home button up top here, and now this is what your home screen looks like. So you got one screen here that displays like your call stuff and your music stuff. Then you can go into your media stuff. So that is what your media screen looks like. You get your different AM or your FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and your USB stuff. You can also go between your different sources up top there. That is what that looks like. Sorry, I have this like plastic thing that I don't want to take off. I'm gonna let the owner take it off. Then you can go into your HVAC stuff on this screen. Right now it's off. I'm gonna turn it on, and then that is what that looks like with it on. Coming down one more, you have your CarPlay shortcut button, and then beneath that you have your vehicle shortcut button. So this is what the vehicle shortcut button looks like. You can go between your different controls, which is what we were just on. You can go into your off-road pages. So this is what your off-road page looks like. You can go between your different accessory gauges on there, and then you also have your pitch and roll stuff. And then coming down one more time, this is your app screen. So these are the favorites, and then you can go in between all. So that is what that looks like, and then you can go between this, and that's about it for that. Up top here, get your ambient exterior temperature. That's not the current time, but that is where your current time would normally be. And then you have your audio stuff up top there. If you clicked right here, you can turn on your heated front seats and your heated steering wheel. The heated front seats, the heated steering wheel, and the remote start system all come a part of the $995 convenience group. Not only can you control the heated front seats and the heated steering wheel from up here on the screen, you can come down a little bit and you also have your physical buttons for the heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability and your heated steering wheel button. So redundant physical buttons for the buttons on the screen, which is something that I always like. Now, what's also new for 2024, because you got this big screen here, you can see you no longer get the circular vents and more of like a horizontal box shaped vent. So that's something I thought I might point out. And then coming down, push button, start button, you got your volume control knob, you have your tuning control knob, you have your fan speed control knob, and this is what your climate control stack looks like. That's a closer view. Looks the same as 2018 and up. Down here, get your mute button. You have your auto stop start button on or off, traction control on or off. You got your hazard button, and then also with that 8-speed for $4,500, you also get select speed control, which is what this button is right here. Basically like an off-road cruise control button where you can drive the vehicle with just the accelerator. And then all the way over here, you have your screen off button. Touch anywhere on the screen and the screen will turn back on. And then coming down a little bit more, you get a 12-volt power outlet over here. You get automatic down windows in the front only. None of the windows are automatic up, and the back windows are not automatic up or down. Clicking that down is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. And then opening this up, you get a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and an auxiliary jack. As standard with the Rubicon, you get the locking front and rear axle. So if you flip that up, that's going to lock your front and your rear axle. If you flip that down, that's going to lock the rear axle only. And then that is to unlock both axles there. Then you get your off-road plus mode there. You can get your sway bar disconnect button there. And then as standard with the Rubicon, you get 4 auxiliary switches over here. So you could hypothetically wire in 4 different LED light bars, and you can turn on those light bars individually with these 4 different buttons here. One thing I really like about the Wrangler is that they still have this physical transfer case thing here. So if you wanted to go into 4 high, you just pull back, and now we are into 4 high. True neutral, you just push over to the right and pull down. That's actually now 4 low right here. Let me find it. That is your true neutral. And then, yeah, I love how it is actually still a physical thing that you do rather than pushing a button, because it's just one less thing to go wrong over time. That's something that I really like. And then if you wanted to control the transmission yourself, you have to go into drive, flip that over to the left, and then push up to downshift, and then pull down to upshift. That's that. And then you also get a manual emergency brake here, which is something that I always like. And then you get 2 cup holders, a great spot. You could set a phone in between those 2 cup holders. You get a nicely padded armrest. Opening up that armrest, you get this nice little divider in here. You can set business cards, a phone, or something like that. And then opening that all the way up, you have another USB-A port down in there. A little bit of storage space. I'd say about 45% of my forearm will fit down in there, especially with this all the way closed. You can see it takes up a little bit of real estate there. And then coming over to here, you get a grab handle, or your front passenger gets a grab handle here. And then they also get a lockable lower glove box. The glove box in this is definitely smaller than the glove box found in the new Ford Bronco, but you can fit what you need to in that glove box. Yeah. You get a standard rear view mirror here. Lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off, and then you have like your roadside assistance stuff up top here. Universal garage door opener, so if you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. And then you can also set any small paper product in that little clip right there. Opening this up, you get another clip. You also get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then this visor slides forwards and backwards depending on where the sun is. And that's, you know, kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So now I do want to go over a couple of the options that this vehicle has. So this does have the $170 all-weather floor mats, as well as the $995 convenience package, which gives you the heated front seats, the heated steering wheel, and the remote start system. This also has the $4,500 8-speed automatic transmission, which includes the select speed control and adaptive cruise control with stop. A couple things that come standard. I'm only going to highlight a few, literally a few. You get keyless access, you get the 4 auxiliary switches, and you get the LED exterior lighting as standard. Now, I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You guys can take a look at whatever you want to. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon is spec'd is $56,855. I know that is a lot of money, but this is literally an out-of-the-box off-roader that can pretty much tackle any sort of terrain that you're gonna throw at it, unless you're doing like really like insane terrain where you need to like spend 30 grand on a suspension. This will pretty much tackle any sort of terrain. And you can also use it as a daily driver if you wanted to as well. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before I moved into the driving portion of the video. So obviously, just like the front door panel, the rear door panel is also very basic. You got your armrest, you get your grab handle, or not your grab handle, your door handle, and some storage space at the bottom. This is what your rear seats look like. It's a closer look at that. Now let's step on into the interior back here. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get 2 HVAC vents. You have your window controls. Opening this up, you get 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and a household power outlet. You also get 2 cup holders down here. You get a grab handle back here for this guy. You get another grab handle over there as well. You get a speaker up top here, you get a speaker over there, you get an LED light there, another LED light here as well. You can see I am adjusted behind myself. I am 5'9". I've got quite a bit of knee room left, quite a bit of leg room left, and a ton of headroom left over, as you may be able to see. Honestly, these seats are pretty comfortable, you know what I mean? For what it is, for being a Jeep, they're pretty comfortable. One thing that I do want to point out is that I did a video with a Wrangler Rubicon 392, and that one had a center fold down armrest back here, whereas you may be able to tell this one does not have a center fold down armrest. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the 2024 Rubicon. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the review, where I definitely appreciate the Uconnect 5 with the wireless CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto more than the 8-inch screen of the 2023 model year. Now, I do want to say that the 8-inch Uconnect 4 infotainment system with the wired CarPlay still worked very, very well. It's just this one's just a little bit better. You get the bigger screen. It is horizontally mounted, and now with the wireless CarPlay, it doesn't get much better than that. In my opinion, I personally prefer the wireless CarPlay to the wired. But being a Wrangler Rubicon, it's gonna ride like a Wrangler, you know what I mean? This thing is also like basically a purpose-built off-roader in addition to being a daily driver. So with that in mind, yes, it does drive like a Jeep. Yes, it does wander kind of like a Jeep does, but that's kind of the fun with the Wrangler. I really like the way that the Wrangler looks. Here comes another Wrangler. Are we supposed to wave? I don't know. I know on the window sticker, you get like the 50 state Jeep Wave membership or whatever when you buy one of these. But the past couple times that I've driven a Wrangler, I've probably had like 1 in 4 people wave. So I don't know, it seems like as time goes on, maybe it's becoming less and less of a thing that people do, because there's just so many Wranglers on the road. I mean, these things sell like hotcakes. Everybody wants a Wrangler. Anyways, the Rubicon, seat comfort's actually pretty good. I gotta say, the seat's pretty comfortable. But when it comes to, you know, daily drivability of this compared to the Bronco, I gotta say that the Bronco definitely drives better on the street as compared to the Wrangler. That's not to say that this thing doesn't drive well on the street, but it definitely wanders, you know what I mean? It's got the solid front axle. It doesn't have the independent front suspension like the Bronco does, whereas the solid front axle is a lot better for off-road use. The independent front suspension is better for on-road use. You know, it's just, it has better on-road manners with the Bronco. It just, you know, cruises better, drives better, whereas this one's just a little bit more bouncy and bumpy, and it just kind of wanders a little bit. But if you've ever driven a Jeep, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is kind of the charm to driving a Wrangler, you know what I mean? Just one of those things. Again, this does have the 3.6 liter, so let's see how she does. Floored. And I let off the throttle. One thing with that solid front axle is that there's not very much body roll when going around turns. I mean, there's surprisingly not much body roll actually at all, whereas with a Wrangler, you'd expect it to have quite a bit of body roll, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Whereas I think the Bronco's got a little bit more body roll than this. You know, I know looks are subjective between this and the Bronco, and I've seen really good looking Broncos and I've seen really good looking Wranglers at the same time. Really, it comes down to what you are looking for. I do think though that the Bronco does have a couple better powertrain options. I know, you know, some people hate the EcoBoost, some people love the EcoBoost. The EcoBoost definitely produce more power than, you know, what the Wrangler's offering, except for with the Rubicon 392. I would 1000% take a Rubicon 392 over a Bronco Raptor, and that's honestly, for me, that's not even a question. I would 1000% take the 392 Rubicon over any sort of Bronco Raptor. Doesn't matter what spec it is. You just cannot beat the sound of a V8, and you know, just because of that V8 in the Wrangler, that makes me give Jeep a lot of cred and a lot of respect for doing something like that. I also just think that the Wrangler has more of a classic look than the Bronco does. I don't know, that's just the way that I look at it. You know, you can agree or disagree with me in the comments down below about that, but you know, like I said, drives like a Jeep, but it still performs very well on the road. Just not quite as well as the Bronco, and it outperforms the Bronco definitely off-road for sure, just because of that solid front axle and stuff like that. It's a better off-roader than the Bronco's going to be, but the Bronco's going to be a little bit better on road with its on-road manners and stuff like that. I love the wireless CarPlay. I love the wireless Android Auto. I think the Jeep looks awesome. I love how you still have like the manual transfer case selector there. That is awesome. I love the manual e-brake right here. That is also awesome. And you know, like I said, with the Rubicon, you can get the 35-inch tire package, which gives you the 35-inch tires. It's got the 35-inch tire suspension. It's got a different rear axle ratio. It's got the performance brakes and stuff like that. So that might be a package you might want to look into, or that might be a package you might not want to look into. Just something I thought I would throw out there. But yeah, overall, I think this thing looks great. I love the updates for the 2024 model year. Let me know, do you guys like the updated styling of the 2024 Wrangler as compared to the 2023? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I mentioned, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you've taken anything from this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.